Guys, UFC 289 is this weekend, and my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook, are offering new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you have to do is sign up using the promo code SONNEN and bet just $5. That's right, new customers can bet just $5 on any of this weekend's fights and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. Use the $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings Same Fight Parlay. This is going to give you a shot for an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight, including number of rounds and method of victory. The more bets you combine, the more money you can win. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy with the chance to win huge cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers, use promo code SONNEN. Bet just $5 on any wager and get 200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. I just saw this piece. It was great. It was Adesanya, and he was praising Ian Garry. And I would actually love to know just a little bit more information of those two's background, if there is one. It's very difficult to get a compliment from Adesanya, right? It's also hard for him to give them. He looked in one direction, he starts praising the guy, next thing you know is that guy's gonna move into his weight class, try to take his title away, right? It's one of those things. If anybody's got a bullseye put on him, it's Adesanya. So when he's praising Garry, who's just a weight class down, I appreciated that, and I would be curious just if they trained together, if they were in the room together, if they got a common coach, because I can't connect the dots. I couldn't find a card that they were on together, and of course I'm not going any further than top of my head, but their coaches don't overlap, and my point being, it's so common with so many of the greats. Most of them are like Garry, not like Izzy. Izzy believed he was the best on day one, told you it, found a way to get the opportunity, found a way to get recognized, right? He's a world champion. But most are more like Garry because I see the same thing that Izzy sees. I see a young man who has all of the potential, who is definitely in that upper echelon to be the champion of the world. So, talking about potential here. One thing that's interesting about that is Garry is a pretty brash guy and wanted that. He was disciplined to make sure he said things and had something to say. And sometimes they weren't even his own words. He was quoting McGregor and just knew it would get a cheap pop. But one reason that you would quote McGregor and go for a cheap pop is just because you're not sure enough in your own words, right? The Rock had very famously said in a movie, line was probably written for him, but The Rock had very famously said in a movie, it was about an aspiring pro wrestler named Paige, and he told this young athlete, do not be the next Stone Cold, don't be the next Hulk Hogan, and don't be the next me. Be the first you. As simple or as powerful as that might have sounded to some of you, it's a real thing that you don't think like that. As much as you want something or as good as you think that you might be, it's a whole different confidence to believe that the audience is going to resonate, come on the journey with you, and be interested in your story. It's a different confidence, right? Your punches and kicks and your grappling, your conditioning, that's a separate category from the storytelling. And I mean, I could go back to the first ever Ultimate Fighter, Forrest Griffin, who's now a Hall of Famer. I think he's in an executive position. He's a world champion, had as good of memories and as good of experiences as anybody could ever hope for in the sport. There are children that are named after him, by the way. Young Griffith Bonner. Hello, by the way. So, but I just remember that first season, and when they interviewed Forrest about who's who and who's going to do what, give us an early prediction. They've been in the room 3, 4, 5 days. I remember. It was 2005. I still remember it. He said, Bobby Southworth. He said, Bobby's our leader. Bobby's the best guy here. Bobby calls the shots. Bobby tells us to huddle up in the corner. We huddle up in the corner. I just remember that. And that was a good leader. That was a good pick. Bobby Southworth was awesome. Never really got his due. But then I could fast forward a little bit. And, we saw the same thing with Chimaev. And Chimaev had the skills, and Chimaev go in there, and what did he do, like 5 in a row or something, but had never, 5 matches all done in the first 5 minutes, and had never been hit. Is that Chimaev's claim? Something real close to this. But he also wasn't as confident about the journey, about the story. So he was calling himself Khabib 2.0. And when he started to realize that the audience was interested in him, in conjunction with a perfect storm, which was Khabib rumored to be looking at retirement, this is at that time, all of a sudden, we don't need a 2.0. We just need a Khabib. Or we just need a Chimaev, right? So he broke through and stepped out of that. And when we look at Garry, the reason I can't put Garry in the same category as, say, an Adesanya. Adesanya, who steps in on day one, says, I'm the man. You go, yeah, whatever. From New Zealand. Wrestling's important here. You could be the best wrestler in New Zealand, and you still don't know how to wrestle, right? I mean, this was a belief, and he said, no, it's not as important as you think. Come try me. I keep reaching, I keep distance, I don't ever have to worry about it. I mean, it was just one of these things where he really, truly believed it. And when we have Garry, who came out and was brash and had something to say, and this was part of the, pre-organized entertainment aspect of his career, he then breaks into the top 15, and he went and got a 15 tattoo. I mean, do I have that right? Was it a 13? It was a 13 tattoo or something along these lines. And I know guys that have done that to commensurate. I could use Ronda Rousey, for example. She went and got the Olympic rings tattooed. She also got a bronze medal in the Olympic Games. It was a little bit different story than having somebody with the potential and success of an undefeated Ian Garry being so proud, so sincerely proud and excited to break into the top 15 when you got guys like Israel Adesanya saying, hey, top 15, you're destined to be number 1.